The WNBA just witnessed one of the most savage clapbacks of the year, and it came from none other than Caitlin Clark herself. What started as a weekend celebration turned into a full-blown rivalry that's got everyone talking. And trust me, this drama is way juicier than anything we've seen between Clark and Angel Reese. Picture this. Kelsey Plum posts what she thinks is an innocent Instagram photo from All-Star Weekend. Little did she know, Caitlin Clark was about to serve up the coldest 6-word roast that would have the entire basketball world buzzing. Thank you for the Nike ad. That's all it took for Clark to absolutely demolish Plum's post and spark what might be the spiciest new rivalry in women's basketball. But before we dive into this Instagram chaos, make sure you hit that like button if you're Team Caitlin and subscribe for more WNBA drama because trust me, this story is just getting started. So here's where things get interesting. Kelsey Plum, who's been repping Under Armour since 2022, posted this celebratory photo from All-Star Weekend with the caption, "What a weekend." Sounds innocent enough, right? Wrong. Eagle-eyed Caitlin Clark spotted something that Plum completely missed, a Nike swoosh photobombing the entire shot. And Clark, being the marketing genius she is, couldn't resist pointing it out. Now, for those who don't know, Clark signed a massive $28 million deal with Nike earlier this year, making it the biggest sneaker deal in WNBA history. Meanwhile, Plum jumped ship from Nike to Under Armour back in 2022. So when Clark commented, "Thank you for the Nike ad," she wasn't just being funny, she was throwing some serious shade at her rival's sponsor situation. The comment instantly went viral, racking up over 5,000 likes and counting. Fans were absolutely living for this petty moment, with one person commenting, "Caitlin really said free marketing for my brand." Another wrote, "CC with the clamps" on social media too. But this Instagram drama was just the tip of the iceberg. The real tea started spilling during the All-Star Game weekend when Kelsey Plum decided to take an unprovoked shot at Caitlin Clark during a post-game press conference. And let me tell you, it was so awkward that even Sabrina Ionescu, who was sitting right next to her, couldn't hide her discomfort. Here's what went down. All the WNBA All-Stars wore these powerful "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts during warm-ups to make a statement about the ongoing CBA negotiations. It was supposed to be this big unity moment for the players. But Plum just couldn't help herself. When asked about how the shirt idea came together, Plum said, "It was a very powerful moment. The t-shirt, just United Front, was determined this morning that we had a meeting for. And not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that." The way Sabrina Ionescu's face changed when Plum said that? Priceless. She immediately rolled her eyes and said, "Didn't really need to be mentioned," before letting out this uncomfortable laugh. Even she knew Plum was out of line. What makes this even more ridiculous is that every single player, including all of Team Clark, wore the shirts. They all showed solidarity. So why did Plum feel the need to call them out for missing one morning meeting? Especially when you consider that Team Collier had basically the entire WNBA Players Association leadership on their squad, including President Nneka Ogwumike and First Vice President Kelsey Plum herself. Social media absolutely exploded after Plum's comments. One fan tweeted, "Why did Kelsey Plum even feel the need to say this? Does this help the players in any way amid CBA negotiations? Genuinely curious." Another wrote, "Always find a way to hate on the Golden Girl." And here's the thing, this isn't the first time these two have had tension. Remember last year's All-Star game when Plum decided to pick up Clark full court during an exhibition game? Like, who plays that kind of defense in an All-Star game? It was so extra that even the commentators were confused. A video from that game resurfaced this weekend showing Plum aggressively guarding Clark 94 feet from the basket. Clark managed to get away thanks to a nice screen, made a beautiful pass for an assist, and then celebrated just a little bit extra. You could tell even back then that there was something brewing between these two. But wait, it gets even spicier. After Clark's Nike comment went viral, people started digging through Plum's Instagram stories, and they found something interesting. Plum posted a photo of some C-clamps with the caption, "CC with the clamps." Now, she might claim it stands for C-clamps, but come on, we all know what CC really stands for. The timing was way too convenient to be a coincidence. What's really fascinating about this whole situation is how it highlights the bigger picture in the WNBA right now. You've got Caitlin Clark, the league's newest superstar, who's bringing in record viewership and attendance, and then you've got established players like Kelsey Plum who've been grinding in this league for years. There's clearly some tension there. And let's talk about the sponsor angle for a second, because it's actually brilliant marketing from Clark. By pointing out that Nike logo in Plum's photo, she basically turned her rival into a walking billboard for her own sponsor. That's some next-level pettiness that even Michael Jordan would appreciate. The funniest part? Plum tried to clap back by posting about her plumbery colorway Under Armour shoes, making sure everyone knew she was with UA. But by that point, the damage was done. Clark had already won the social media battle. During halftime of the All-Star game, Plum was interviewed again and tried to backtrack a little, saying she didn't mean to call out Team Clark like that, and it just came out naturally. But nobody was buying it. When you start a sentence with "not to tattletale," you know exactly what you're doing. What makes this rivalry even more interesting is that it's completely different from the Clark versus Angel Reese dynamic. With Reese, there's this intense on-court competition that dates back to college. But with Plum, it feels more like veteran jealousy mixed with some sponsor beef. It's giving new generation versus old guard energy. And speaking of the actual All-Star game, Team Collier absolutely destroyed Team Clark 151-131. Plum had 16 points and was living her best life, while Clark had to watch from the sidelines due to injury. You know Plum was feeling herself after that win. During another halftime interview, Plum straight up said, "We're a lot better than them. I hate to say it." Like, the disrespect was real. She wasn't even trying to hide it anymore. But here's where Clark's genius really shows. Instead of getting into a back-and-forth war of words, she let that one Instagram comment do all the talking. 6 words that completely shifted the narrative and had everyone laughing at Plum's expense. That's how you win in 2025. With memes and viral moments, not press conference drama. The craziest part about all of this is that it happened during a weekend that was supposed to be about player unity and fighting for better pay. The WNBA players are in the middle of crucial CBA negotiations, trying to secure better salaries and revenue sharing. Having this public beef between two of the league's stars probably isn't the best look. But let's be real. Drama sells, and this rivalry is exactly what the WNBA needs to keep growing its fan base. People love picking sides, and right now, it seems like most fans are Team Caitlyn. The comments under Plum's Instagram post are brutal, with Clark supporters absolutely roasting her for the Nike slip-up. And can we talk about how Sophie Cunningham has been living for all this drama? She's been liking posts, leaving comments, and generally being the best teammate by supporting Clark through all of this. That's what real friendship looks like in the W. What's also interesting is how this plays into the larger narrative of Clark's rookie season. She's faced criticism, hard fouls, and shade from veterans all year long. But instead of backing down, she's learned how to clap back in the most effective way possible, through social media and smart marketing moves. The timing of Clark's comment was absolutely perfect too. She waited until Plum's post had been up for a bit, let it gain some traction, and then dropped her bomb. By that point, thousands of people had already seen the photo, making the Nike logo situation even more embarrassing for Plum. And let's not forget, Clark is still recovering from injury and couldn't even play in the All-Star game. But she still managed to steal the spotlight and create the most talked about moment of the weekend. That's star power right there. Some fans are speculating that this rivalry might actually be good for both players' brands. After all, Magic and Bird's rivalry helped save the NBA. Could Clark and Plum do something similar for the WNBA? The league certainly needs all the attention it can get, especially during these CBA negotiations. But unlike Magic and Bird, who had mutual respect despite their rivalry, this feels different. There's a real edge to the Clark-Plum dynamic that makes it unpredictable and honestly more entertaining. The best part about Clark's approach is that she's not trying to be the villain. She's just protecting her brand and having a little fun in the process. Meanwhile, Plum looks like the bitter veteran who can't handle the new generation taking over. And speaking of brands, let's talk about what this means for Nike and Under Armour. Nike has to be thrilled with how Clark handled this situation. She basically got millions of dollars worth of free advertising from a simple Instagram comment. Under Armour, on the other hand, probably isn't too happy about their athlete becoming a meme. Moving forward, every interaction between these two is going to be must-watch content. When the Fever play the Sparks next season, you know all eyes will be on Clark and Plum. Will they shake hands? Will there be more shade thrown? The anticipation is already building. What's really telling is how other players have reacted to this drama. Most have stayed quiet, not wanting to pick sides. But body language doesn't lie. And Sabrina Ionescu's reaction said everything we needed to know about how the other players feel about Plum's behavior. It's also worth noting that Clark has been nothing but professional throughout her rookie season. despite facing constant criticism and hard fouls. For Plum to come at her like this, unprovoked, during what should have been a celebration of the league, just seems petty. But hey, if Plum wants to keep giving Clark free content for viral moments, who are we to complain? Clark has shown she knows exactly how to capitalize on these situations and turn them into marketing gold. The real winner in all of this, NBA fans who get to watch this drama unfold in real time. This is the kind of personality and rivalry that makes sports entertaining beyond just the games themselves. As we wrap up this wild story, remember to drop a comment below. Are you Team Caitlyn or Team Kelsey in this beef? And make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because something tells me this rivalry is far from over. Until next time, this is your WNBA drama update. And remember, sometimes the best defense is a perfectly timed Instagram comment.